So when we were deciding the topics this week, someone from Ball Street South suggested that this would be a good topic because it would get people discussing and also probably make Arsenal fans froth at the mouth. And that's not the modus operandi of this channel by any stretch, but it is a lot easier to do at the moment than it would normally be, of course. So the question was, and this is I'm going to throw him under. This was James Alcott's idea. How many Arsenal players? Now he did pose the question: how many Arsenal players would get into Tottenham's side? I've expanded it out. Well, I originally expanded it to top 4, and then remember Ped was here, so the top 6.
Top 6.
How many Arsenal players would get into the other top 6 sides? The teams there and about. So.
The teams above them.
Yeah, exactly. So, for Louis, I'll start with you. How many Arsenal players would get into Chelsea's first 11? I'm
genuinely trying to think it through now, and I'm struggling. I'd take Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he wouldn't start.
Okay. So that's not what the question was.
No, exactly. I'm trying to make Arsenal fans feel better because I'm about to go. Here, mate. No, I wouldn't start any of them, even if we lost 2-0 to Man United. I couldn't see it. I wouldn't take Ozil.
You genuinely wouldn't take any Arsenal players in your starting 11?
You know, I've just Alexis Sanchez. Now I think about it, but I don't know.
So you'd have Pedro instead of Alexis Sanchez.
Well, for the whole of this season, Pedro's been overall. He's been better. I'm not saying Sanchez has been a bad player. Sanchez was phenomenal, and he's definitely been the reason that Arsenal have scored goals and not got points on the board. But I would take him, but I was having this debate with someone the other day. I'm a bit like, do I want a player that doesn't seem bothered towards the back end of the season if he's not having his way? Because that's what it looks like for him.
Fucking nuts. That
Have you met me?
Such a mental statement. Sanchez has been...
He's the only one who's
unbelievable.
No, for me, if you look at the way he acts after games...
Because he's lost. Because he's
upset. No, but...
I agree with him. Okay. I like Sanchez, but I think his attitude fucking stinks.
What attitude of running your balls off? There was one game he was on the bench and he actually...
I have a rule when it comes to players, right? When you sign in a player, I always look at their attitude with their last club and think, will they do that to us? And Sanchez, he wants to stay in the Premier League and play for another London club? Fuck off! You know what? I'd be furious. Not fucking, please sign. I'd be fucking furious if I was an Arsenal fan. Yeah. No, sorry. Come on, mate. This is too many footballers get away with this shit, right?
He's bust his balls all year and the team hasn't been good enough.
I don't think he has, mate.
Actually, I've got a stat for this. Ozil has covered more ground than Alexis Sanchez has all season.
I think Sanchez goes missing when he wants to go missing. He's a great player. He's a great player. I'm not lying. I'm not. You can't dismiss that. But I think he goes missing when he wants to go missing. I think he's holding the club to ransom. And by saying I'm prepared to move to another London club, if I was one of those other London clubs, I'd be thinking, do we want this? Do we want this baggage of this fella? I know they don't.
And the answer would be yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Apart from Chelsea, apparently.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I would take Alexis Sanchez gladly. But the thing I'm looking at is exactly what Ped's saying. He almost is towards the back end now. He's just not. He's petered off. Okay. He's not been doing exactly the same.
He's too green.
This is amazing for the start. But don't forget, you're a team who Eden Hazard, mate. Top quality player, but who do you think's down tools more in the last 2 years? Eden Hazard or Alexis Sanchez?
I'm not saying that they haven't. I'm not saying that. I think they're both fantastic players. I both go, I'd happily have them both at Chelsea. But I'm looking at it as a whole. Mm-hmm. I think that just the baggage, I worry about. I'm just looking at him now, and there's times when he just really can't be bothered with anything at Arsenal. The one thing I speak to Robbie about, and other Arsenal fans, they've said, you go away or whatever, like 2 players come over. Alexis Sanchez is always the one that's walking away, and Ozil once was actually the one saying to him, "What are you doing? You've got to walk over to these guys who come the distance."
Don't forget, Sanchez only chose Arsenal over Liverpool because he wanted to live in London. Mm. You know, little things like I know it's about lifestyle and all that, and he's a great player.
It wasn't anything to do with Champions League.
Well, no, apparently it wasn't. Apparently it was because
Liverpool would have had Champions League.
Yeah, it's because he wanted
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. All right, then fair enough.
Ludicrous. Not that I remember anything. No. He's a fantastic player.
How many Arsenal players would you have in
the goalie? I'd have Czech.
You'd have Petr Cech.
Even though he's on his arse. I'd still have him.
Okay. Still a great keeper. I'd take that.
I'd probably have Koscielny, but I do not agree that he's the best defender in the Premier League. No chance.
He's an improvement on Phil Jagielka.
Pardon?
He's an improvement on Phil Jagielka.
Well, he's an improvement on both our centre backs at the moment.
Bellerin?
I think Koscielny's issue is that he doesn't have anyone another centre half.
You wouldn't have Hector
No,
Bellerin?
I wouldn't.
I forgot about Bellerin.
I'd
take Bellerin.
Oxlade-Chamberlain I like.
Sorry. Okay, go on, Pat. Carry on.
Oxlade-Chamberlain I do like. And obviously, Ozil is a fantastic player, but he's another one. Their attitude is just a little bit all over the place. I'd have Giroud as well. I like Giroud. I'd love Everton to have like a proper old-fashioned centre forward.
He's never going to start though, is he?
No, but he might with us. I'm not. You can't dismiss them. Say the shit. I like Giroud. I like old-fashioned centre backs who can do the other job. Right, he might need toughening up. But then that might ruin his hair.
Giroud's one of those players which won't score you 30 goals a season. But he's very
not all
consistent.
strikers should score you 30 goals a season, though. That's almost like you do need strikers that know how to run the channels and work hard and get those kind of headed goals in the last minute of games. And he's got a good.
Did it against us.
Do you know what I mean? He's got a great reputation.
I think Arsenal have found their groove with him a bit more this season, and there's not a total reliance upon him as your main man. Yeah. Look at what he is, and people go on about these plan Bs a lot in football, a bit too much at times. But he's just a really gifted footballer all around, isn't he? And he's not a groch. You look at he's not an Andy Carroll. But that Andy Carroll is what Andy Carroll is. He's a batter and ram, isn't he? Giroud can do that. No. But,
pardon the pun.
But yeah.
Our top goal scorer post-war is Graham Sharp. Now he played for us for like 12, 13 years. Now every season he'd get like 10, 11 goals. That's what you need. And if you look at old videos, he'd always be laying them on for the Andy Gray, Lineker, Tony Cottee. You need someone like that. Yeah. All the way you can do that. It's, I mean, if you keep that long. And I like Giroud. Actually, if anyone, he'd probably the first one I'd take.
Okay, so let's go through this then. So you'd have Cech, Koscielny, Giroud,
and probably Oxlade-Chamberlain, who I do like as well.
And Oxlade-Chamberlain.
And Ozil probably as well.
That's so half their team. No, out of half their team.
But not Sanchez.
They're not a shit team.
I'd
have Sanchez in football. Listen, I'm not saying they don't get into our first team.
No, well, who's getting into your first team?
The goalie.
Cech.
Giroud would probably get in as a second striker.
Sanchez.
What about Koscielny? Would you have him starting?
Koscielny get in. Okay. And Sanchez would get in. Obviously they would. I'm not stupid. They get into our side.
But you just
this is expanded from
I just don't like this whole Sanchez thing. I don't like this whole thing of.
Well, why didn't you say something about it?
I know, well, you know. I've never been asked. I've never been asked before. I've never been asked. And I know people will be going, isn't that what Lukaku's doing to you? Well, yeah, but he's our player. And he's already set his stall out. He's not bitching and moaning every 5 minutes. He said he's not signing a contract. Yeah. And at the end of the season...
I actually quite respect that.
And at the end of the season, whatever happens. But while he's playing for us at the moment, there's a clear love between him and us. And I don't think that...
Stop second-guessing the comment criticism.
I don't... No, I know. You've got to be ahead of them. Yeah. But I don't think that necessarily Sanchez does that.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I always worry about when you sign a player, what they've done to their team.
Sanchez did it at Barcelona.
They will do it to you.
Okay, absolutely fine. Liam, Man United. Which
I'd have Koscielny.
You'd have Koscielny.
Cazorla.
Cazorla. Ooh, Cazorla's a good show.
Cazorla.
He's fucking
injury-prone defensive midfielders.
Well,
you've just got rid of one, haven't you? So you've got to replace the Schweinsteiger quota.
I was thinking more along the lines of Michael Carrick is about to retire.
Sure, yeah.
And I'd have Sanchez. Yeah, I like Oxlade-Chamberlain, but it's another case of I don't think he'd start. But then with Mourinho, would any of them start? Mourinho's fucking rotation's amazing. Okay. Yesterday's a prime example of that. But I personally would have Koscielny, Cazorla, and Sanchez.
Alexis Sanchez. Yeah. Okay, no shouts for Ozil in there.
He's so hit and miss, isn't he? He's either brilliant or shite. There's no in between. Yeah. He's either in the game and he scores 4 and sets up 3, or he's just non-existent. What's the point in having a player like that? That's not for me.
Okay, so and you scoffed at the Bellerin shout before.
I just don't rate him. Like he's all right. He's not.
I think he's all right.
He's all right. Yeah.
I just. He's another one of those Arsenal players that they rave about, and you watch him and you just go, yeah, you're a good player, but no, you're not a world beater.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of that going around the Premier League in general,
of course,
because
we all love our own players.
Yeah, but no, I mean more because I think you look at the great sides, and I think we all do. There's an element of delusional to being a football fan. That's what it's all about. You're not deluded in your own world, but when you look from the outside looking in at other ones, you tend to think of it. But I look at these top teams. Sorry, yeah, I'll come to that. But I look at these top teams and I think about the great teams that these players have had. And I do it with us, and you do it with Arsenal and Man United, whatever. And you think, God, were these guys fit to lace the boots of the last great team that each of those clubs have had? And I don't know, but I would honestly, I'd have Alexis Sanchez, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. He would improve upon Phil Coutinho on the left hand side. I think that as much as Phil Coutinho is great, I think you get more consistency out of Sanchez. He impacts games more consistently anyway, even though I don't think Coutinho's far from doing that.
Do you know what version of Sanchez I'd love? The Chile version of Sanchez. That's the version. Yeah. They're the only team that get the true full version of without the baggage. I think
Barca did, but he was never playing. He was
never
good enough.
Right wing, didn't he, or left wing? He never
played good enough.
But yeah, no, it's okay. So I'd have Alexis Sanchez, and I'll be honest, we're apparently heavily linked with Oxlade-Chamberlain this summer. It looks like it could happen. I'd be happy for him, but he doesn't get in. He doesn't get in ahead of Coutinho. He doesn't get in ahead of Mane. He doesn't get ahead of Lallana. He doesn't get ahead of Wijnaldum.
Big question: is he going to start?
So he wouldn't start. He wouldn't be a starter for us. But he'd be a very, very good. He would improve our squad massively. Yeah. But he wouldn't start in your biggest games. You're not picking Oxlade-Chamberlain. No, for us, with Sanchez, I think would definitely. Yeah. And past that, I like it. I think Ozil's a tremendous player, but he talked about it himself. Like, yeah, you might see me not running around, but you've got to look at my other stats. If you don't run around, you don't fit with Liverpool. So it doesn't matter how many assists or how many passes or whatever you make, he wouldn't fit with us. And past that, apparently Mustafi's terrible. I heard he was good, but then everyone's saying he's terrible all of a sudden. I'm not a massive fan. Honestly, I think Sakho's better than Koscielny, and if Sakho doesn't get in our team, for whatever reason, I'm not asked about Koscielny. Monreal, nah. I like Bellerin, but Klein's absolutely sound as a fullback for us. And a year ago, Petr Cech all day over Mignolet, but I think Mignolet's been great this season. So, and I don't think Mignolet's got years to improve. I don't think Cech's going to ever be a better keeper than he is today.
What about City and Tottenham then? Would any of those?
Go on, Omar, shout any players that you'd have.
Cech, just anyone except Bravo.
Anyone except Bravo, yeah. Cech.
Probably Bellerin because our right backs are in the retirement home, but actually Navas is doing all right. Koscielny.
3. Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez.
4. Ozil.
No, got De Bruyne and Silva.
Okay, 4. Cazorla.
Nah, to be honest.
No.
I don't think you get in.
Injury-prone defence midfielders, you got them too. Cool. So 4. Okay, that's reasonable.
I would thinking about it now. I would take Bellerin, especially in Arsenal, especially in the system we have. I think Marcus.
Over Moses.
No, I'd move Moses left. I think Alonso is fantastic for us, but he's one of those players which is decent, but no, he's not great. There are better players available in that position.
I think
Bellin's
no. Listen,
Bellin's like that though.
I think Bellerin would work in our system because he's quick and he can cover a lot of ground. Yeah. That's the only reason.
Make him a good footballer because he's rapid.
No, he is a good footballer, but
he's all right.
He's a good footballer and he's also ridiculously fast.
Exactly.
As well. So I think you're right. I think he would.
I'd have him as cover for Seamus Coleman until he came back.
And then Spurs. Then lastly, do we think?
I don't think any of them get in the Spurs team. Don't think any of them get. Honestly, I just don't think any of them get in the Spurs team. Don't think any of them fit in. None of them work hard enough.
Alexis Sanchez does work.
No, none of them work hard enough.
Sanchez does. I just don't think.
No, I think Eriksen's better than Sanchez anyway.
Eriksen
none of them work. No, stop it. None of them work hard enough to get in the Spurs team. None of them are English enough to get in the Spurs team. None of them got the right attitude. None of them have got long enough tongues to get in the England team, to get in the Spurs team. None of them would know the pressure of playing in a big stadium like Spurs' stadium's going to be. So, do you know what I mean? I don't think any of them. I feel like you're reaching. Alexis Sanchez absolutely is an improvement. Spurs' ground's going to be bigger than Tottenham's, isn't it?
Whatever.
Spurs' ground's going to be big.
Spurs'
ground's going to be bigger than Tottenham's.
Spurs' ground's going to be bigger than Arsenal. Sorry,
it will be. But I mean, at the minute, But Arsenal.
Alexis Sanchez is the answer.
Yeah.
He's
It's the answer to everyone's prayers.
Exactly.
Sanchez for president, according to Paul.
He's better. No, but if nothing
I
else, look,
firmly believe
he's
he'd
better than
suck
Christian
Sanchez
Eriksen.
off if he walked in the
He's a
room
great
now.
player. He's a great player.
I
But
reckon
you're
he
really
would.
pushing
It's
this.
not
If you
that I'm
got
not a
hit
fan of him. I'm just not a fan of penis.
If you get a hit in the gender here.
So no. But because I think he's a genuine world class player, and there's not many world class players genuinely in the Premier League. And as such, I don't think
City
it's
top
not a
three, though.
stretch. It's not like I'm trying to. It's
No,
not
he
like
is.
I'm trying to ship Nacho Monreal into everyone's team here. Alexis
No,
Sanchez
he's a very.
is clearly
He
a
would
very
get
good
into
footballer.
most Premier League teams,
Yeah.
except ours.
But this is just to clarify. This is not to say that Arsenal have got bad players, but I just think there's it's horses for courses in it, and I think most people are happy. I think they're fine. They're all at a similar level. There's not a great deal of difference, I think, in the vast majority of squads in the top 6.
They've just got a lot of shit
7-ish.
houses playing for them.
That's the problem.
No, but that's true. That's
why they
true.
brought Mustafi,
They've
he's shite.
just got a lot of shit houses playing for
Talk
them.
about mentality. I think that there's just a rotten mentality at Arsenal. I think those players would, if you to put them in other teams, so Aaron Ramsey for Wales, it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, Adam Ramsey, actually. He's
But
slipped off the map.
I wouldn't
Belgium.
take Aaron Ramsey. He's good. I really like him, but I wouldn't take him.
I'd love to see an episode of Job Swap where he has to go and play for Stoke.
Let's see how he
Just see how he gets on with it.
Okay,
No,
okay.
just because of the whole Stoke thing, it'd be boss.
Yeah, true. Okay, then let us know in the comments below which Arsenal players do you think get into each of the other top 6 teams around them. Let us know. If you want to go team by team and how many players they need, please do let us know in the comments below. Watch more Social Club. It's dead easy. All you got to do is click this button right here and that'll take you through to our video where we discussed, is the title race back on? Chelsea and Spurs duking it out for the top spot in the Premier League, and click the Ball Street logo right there to subscribe to the channel.